lawmaker in its congressional caucus is making things very awkward for some lawmakers. Here's Lindsey Graham.
I rode down with her going to Georgia, and that's a very pleasant experience. Are these postings accurate? I want to hear from her. Before I judge what to do about her, I want to know what the facts are. If these are not accurate postings, they've been manipulated, I'd like to know that. If they are accurate, do you still hold these beliefs?
Lindsey Graham, who thinks she, might not be QAnon after all. She might have been hacked. But perhaps nothing tops this dodge from Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, who told CNN, quote, "I haven't even looked at what all she's done. I'd have to hold back a statement on that. Travel in this weather, it's been a little rough looking at any news or whatever," end quote. And now House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy finally speaking out on Marjorie Taylor Greene, condemning her support of conspiracy theories, but objecting to moves by Democrats to punish her. He says, quote, "Past comments from and endorsed by Marjorie Taylor Greene on school shootings, political violence, and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories do not represent the values or beliefs of the House Republican Conference. I offered Majority Leader Hoyer a path to lower the temperature and address these concerns. Instead of coming together to do that, the Democrats are choosing to raise the temperature by taking the unprecedented step to further their partisan power grab regarding committee assignments of the party." And, quote, "What a bunch of hogwash." Mitch McConnell and Mitt Romney and Joni Ernst have all called her loons. Amy Stoddard and John Heilman, what am I missing? This is shameless even for a shameless person like Kevin McCarthy, John.
It's, it's ridiculous. I mean, obviously, shameless, back to shameless again. We have another portrait in shamelessness, but, and, I shouldn't say but, and, it's illustrative of the difficulty, the precarious, fragile, difficult situation that Kevin McCarthy, I won't say finds himself in, has placed himself in. I mean, look, he's, I think it's obvious that the deal that he offered to Democrats here was not a deal that he asked them essentially to get him out of the difficulty he was in. He did it purely for show. He knew that this deal, this arrangement would not be accepted. And now he's walked into this closed door meeting this afternoon, I think, able to, armed with, as he discusses with his caucus, like, guys, I've made it very clear here. Democrats are not going to give us a way out. There's going to be a vote on the floor tomorrow about this. We've got to solve this on our own. I have no idea. I don't think he has a real position. I think his only position is, my God, let me do whatever it is that allows me to maintain my position as minority leader and potentially as speaker going down the line. And he's caught, right? And the reality is he wishes, I'm sure, that she was not part of his life. At the same time, he suffers from the same terminal fear that a lot of these people do, which is he's afraid that if he, in some ways, gets crosswise with her, he'll get crosswise with a large part of the party, and all of a sudden he won't be minority leader anymore, and Jim Jordan will have his job. It's all just, this kind of gross, naked political calculation and about people's personal careers and advancement. That's all it is. But that is a very illustrative example of just how gross it is in the case of Kevin McCarthy.
Well, and it's like a teeter-totter, right? So QAnon woman is up and Liz Cheney is down. A.B. Stoddard, we just learned that Liz Cheney in that closed-door caucus meeting said that she absolutely will not apologize for her vote or her statement about Donald Trump's role in inciting the insurrection.
Yeah, we were all told that she was never going to back down. One of the things that the Cheney camp suspected was that the support against her was not that strong because the list of members, the 115 that the Green and Q caucus said that they had pulled together never materialized, the actual list of names. And so she was going to go in with the support of, the establishment and people like Mitch McConnell and say, I did the right thing not to violate my constitutional oath. And this is the direction of the party that we need to go in if we want to survive, to tell the truth and to not provoke violence with conspiracy theories. Axios is reporting that McCarthy has done what I thought sort of mid-morning. I figured out he must have. I'm sorry I didn't figure it out sooner, but he sort of try to split the baby. So he's not stripping Green of anything, but he's supporting Liz Cheney, the path of least resistance. What's interesting about him saying that he offered the Democrats a path to lower the temperature and they didn't take it. What he was supposed to do and his corporate donors were telling him to do days ago on the phone was to dump her from her committees and spare the conference a vote on the floor. So McCarthy can run around and tell his conference, it's really bad, the Democrats are just going to try to cancel us. But what he's done is thrown the conference under the bus, where they all actually have to take an individual vote on the floor, because McCarthy wouldn't handle it. And he left it to the Democrats to do because he wouldn't face it. So this is another failure of leadership on his part, and it'll be interesting to see how frustrated that makes the members of his conference and the reaction from those corporate donors who have been urging him, cut this person loose and cut them loose now.
I mean, this now becomes the QAnon caucus. Kevin McCarthy's failure today wasn't just a failure to strip Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments. It was a failure to confront QAnon in the heart of the House Republican Conference. And I cannot fathom that any company would give money to the House Republicans ever again for having a Parkland denier, 9/11 truther in their midst to have had today, to have had an opportunity handed to them, to have cover from Mitch McConnell and Joni Ernst and the Wall Street Journal editorial page. Hello? These people write short checks. You are all going home in 2 years. Nuts. AB and John are sticking around. When we come back, all the president's